in what has transpired so far. But for the uninitiated, on Wednesday, March 15, a fire outbreak at the Kejetia Market affected several shops. After the National Fire Service managed to douse the fire, an investigation was immediately conducted to ascertain the cause of the fire. In addition, the market was closed for days as the affected traders counted their losses in hopes of receiving support from the government. What we know is that Vice President Dr. Bawumia paid a visit to the market and spoke with traders. In fact, the traders hailed Bawumia because he announced that the market was going to be reopened. And there were several thoughts concerning that. But traders occupying the various stalls at the Kejetia Market hailed Vice President Dr. Bawumia over his announcement of the reopening of the market for business activities. We know that some over 800 shops were in fact closed to ensure that proper investigations were carried out and conducted to ascertain what caused the fire. Well, Dr. Bawumia assured the traders that the shops would be open, and that is in fact what happened. And that seemed to counter earlier announcements by managers of the facility of an extension to the closure. Well, I'm here with William Esiedu, and we're getting into the matters. We'll shortly connect with our colleague, Ibrahim Abubakar. He's in the area, and he'll give us an update on what's happening. What we know so far is that managers of the Kejetia Market say that all necessary action will be taken to stop traders from reopening shops. So I mentioned that after the Vice President's visit, shops were open temporarily, but we know that now some over 800 shops have been closed, with traders threatening to forcibly open up. Let's connect with our colleague, Ibrahim Abubakar, Ashanti Regional Correspondent. Ibrahim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Helen.
How are you doing this morning?
By His grace, we are fine.
Thank you for connecting with us this morning. Just for the uninitiated, could you summarize for us what's gone on so far as concerns the Kejetia Market? I mentioned the intervention of the Vice President, but if you can start off from there and work your way to what is happening presently, we would be very grateful.
Okay, thank you. So, with regards to the Kejetia Fire Market, we all know that it happened on Wednesday, which was March 15, around 4 p.m. And just the following morning, that day, management issued a statement that they will be closing the market for further assessment. And for that matter, it will be open the following morning at 12 noon. Now, the following morning, which was Thursday, the Ashanti Regional Minister was there. He assessed the extent of damage. They had a meeting with the management and also leadership of the market, and they decided that looking at the extent of damage, the market should be closed down for at least 3 days for further assessment. They will do structural integrity tests and other things. But even with the 3 days, after the 3 days, if the technical team deem it fit that it should be extended, then so be it. Because even though people have lost their livelihood, they have to make sure that the remaining traders will also be protected, lives will be protected, more properties will also be protected. So the traders were supposed to elapse on Sunday. So Monday, the traders were expected to resume their trading activities. Then on Sunday evening, management issued another statement saying the facility will be closed down for 1 more week. That's when the agitation started. Because for the traders, they were not consulted. There was no form of communication, unlike the previous one, the 3 days down. So they decided that they will resist that closure. And on Monday morning, they came to the facility in their numbers, even though the security was very tight there. They locked the facility and said they will not allow them access. So after back and forth, management decided to allow the traders access, but just for 3 hours, so that they could go in, pick 1 or 2 things. Those who have been affected to will be able to see whether they will be able to lay their hands on 1 or 2 things and that they could salvage. Then within that 3-hour period, the vice president also came to assess the extent of damage and engage with management. So after his briefing, he announced to the traders that the following morning, which was Tuesday, they can commence their trading activities. There, in fact, if you look at the posture of management, you could clearly see that they were not too happy. But there was nothing they can do because the vice president has spoken. Because on that Monday when we went to the facility, we realized that more people have been brought there, engineers, to continue with the structural integrity test and also do some checks and make sure that the facility will be fit for use before they will allow the traders in.
So Ibrahim, very quickly on that point, would you say then that it was the opinion of the managers that the vice president had jumped the gun? He was premature in his pronouncements.
Helen, that is what I can deduce from their demeanor, even though they didn't voice that one out, clearly because maybe it was the vice president. Because even some couple of days ago, when they were addressing the media, you could clearly deduce from even that statement that they were not too happy because people were on the ground working and they wanted that work to be done before any further steps can be taken. So the vice president announced, and the announcement was said that whoever is not affected can resume his or her trading activity.
Right.
And we also know that even though 33 shops were affected by the fire, were burnt by the fire in all, and they realized it was 42, not all of them were affected, but 33. But they also realized that they need to cordon off that entire stretch, which means that shops that were not affected by the fire will have to also be cordoned off because of the proximity close to the fire scene. Because if work needs to be done, then there should be a wide area. And also they realized that because of the intensity of the fire, the smoke and other things, and they also had to cordon off some shops which was at the second floor. In fact, the fire happened at the first floor, portion of the first floor. So the second floor, just directly beneath where the fire happened, they also realized they needed to cordon off that area because after the structural integrity test, management realized that some beams were affected by the fire, they have weakened. Then we also saw some cracks on the slabs, which meant that it is not safe for traders to occupy that portion of the market, even though those places were not directly affected by the fire. So these shops total to 807 shops. That's after the structural integrity test. 807 shops were cordoned off again. That was last week. And traders were asked to move out for more tests to be done and make sure that the place is safe for them before they will be allowed back. So now this kind of brought some confrontation back and forth between the traders and also the management, because the traders were saying the vice president had given them the clearance to go in there and conduct their trading activities. And they do not understand why the management will turn around and say they have to evacuate those portions for some tests to be done. So there were a lot of back and forth, and the traders were saying no, they will not agree. Management went ahead to cordon off those 807 shops. But 3 days ago, the traders forcibly went in there, break in the barricaded area and started with their trading activities. Because, like I said, they said they cannot go and sit home without plying their trade. So they went in there and were doing their trading activities. Yesterday, leadership came in and they engaged them. They told them they should give management some time. So as we speak, they have given management only 3 days.
Okay.
That if by 3 days they do not hear anything from them, then they will go back and resume their trading activity.
So you say the traders have given an ultimatum. The traders have given an ultimatum of 3 days to the managers of the Kejetia Market. And what they're saying is if the shops are not allowed to resume within the next 3 days, they will in fact go and forcibly open their shops.
Exactly, Helen. But we all know that the Kejetia Market has about 8,000 shops. And 800 will be around 10% of the shops that for now will be affected. So there is that still back and forth, but management has also shown evidence of the cracks on the slabs, the beams also being weakened and other things. And they are still for now they are done with their investigation. But yesterday the government, the local government ministry also inaugurated a 5-member fact-finding committee to also investigate the matter. Now, the challenge is that as we speak, management says it has not officially been served with the cause of the fire and recommendations from fire service, even though we know the vice president said the fire service personnel have told him that this is the cause. So for them, they don't have anything officially to say this is the exact cause of the fire. So they are also still waiting on the fire service to give them those outcome of the investigation, and also know what to do next. But for now, they have cordoned off the area. They want to finish with all the tests that they need to conduct before they move to the next step of fixing the portion that has been affected. So for now, that has been the back and forth between management and also the traders as to whether they will allow them go in or not. So it has been a banker, but currently, like I said, leadership stepped in, that was yesterday, and tried to engage with members and pleaded with them to give management 3 days. But for management, the 3 days will also not be enough for them to finish up or wrap up everything. So we will wait and see on Monday whether the traders will go back to the cordoned off area and continue with their trading activity or no. But because of the economic implication, management has also realized that asking all these 800 or 800 traders to go home will come with some economic implications. So now the agreement they have reached out with them is that, well, they will not allow them to come and operate. But then if a client wants to buy something, then the shop owner can come in, pick one or two or the items that the client is requesting and take it to the client without necessarily bringing all the 800 back to their shops with their clients. And they believe that will even put some pressure, because the more we have people on that stretch, then the more pressure it will be on the facility. And that is one thing they are trying to prevent and save more lives. They don't want anything terrible to happen from the March 15 incident. So that is why they are also asking the traders to exercise some level of patience.
Thank you so much for that, Ibrahim Abubakar. Thank you for that comprehensive breakdown. Of course, we're keeping our eye out on this story and watching what happens after 72 hours. We know that the traders are being asked to exercise restraint and patience, but you have your pulse on the beat. So we'll connect with you as and when. Thank you again. And that was Ibrahim Abubakar, our Ashanti regional correspondent, giving us a breakdown of the happenings, chronicling the activity from March 15, when some 33 shops were told were razed down by fire at the Kejetia Market. The vice president paid a visit, and as per what Ibrahim Abubakar let us know, it would appear that the managers of the market felt that the pronouncements by the vice president was premature in terms of opening up the shops when structural integrity had to be looked at, and so on and so forth. Well, we'll also be speaking with some market leaders to get a sense of what the feeling is as concerns the 3-day ultimatum that has been given to the managers of the Kejetia Market. William, the Vice President, Ibrahim, is telling us jump the gun in allowing the market to be reopened when some other factors have to be considered.
Yeah, this is a very technical area. There's a fire, there's a structure that's been gutted by the fire, and the expectation was that the Vice President would rather ask them to hold on for the investigations to be done, for proper decisions to be taken. But, with the greatest of respect, I think that the Vice President should have just held on to that directive or pronouncement or submission or whatever we may call it, because it has created some confusion.
Correct.
The technical people are saying that there are some structural issues that have to be dealt with before, the traders are allowed back. But this is the Vice President of the Republic asking that they should be, allowed to go back to the market. So we're looking at the power of the Vice President and the technical competence of those who are saying that, the traders should stay away. And for the traders, they just want to make their money. But the experts are saying that it is not safe. I mean, the report that has come out indicates that there are issues with the fire situation. The firefighting equipment.
And this is a report that you are reading from.
Yeah, because the hydrants and the extinguishers were randomly inspected, and it was identified that there was absence of accessories and firefighting equipment in all of them. So if this is not taken care of and the fire comes again, or the structure caves in, what are we going to say?
Absolutely.
And this is something that our politicians should take note. I mean, when issues happen, they do not have to go and make pronouncements when they don't know what is on the ground.
Right.
Because when these things happen, then it will come back to hurt them. So I think a company called Contractor is on the ground doing some work, and just asking that at least beyond the fire hydrants, we see other issues there. They are talking about even the hydrant pipe fixing bases have been removed, and the pipes are unbalanced. I mean, and not fixed adequately. So if we are talking about these things, why would anybody want to go there? And this will cause severe leaks in the case of pressurization of the system, in case of activation of the main fire pumps. So if there's fire again and these things are not fixed, we'll have a bigger problem.
This is true.
If it's possible, the Vice President can come back after he has been properly briefed. I mean, he went there, there's election coming up, so...
Because I was coming to that. Do you think that's the reason why he jumped the gun?
Yeah, because everything that he would do to... And immediately he made those pronouncements. If what I read was right, the traders just started supporting him. Bawumia for president, 2024, we vote for Bawumia. But this is not the vote thing. We have lives at stake.
Right.
They are even talking about the gas leak detection system. You have to make sure that all those things are very secure, so that we don't get into problems like this.
Absolutely.
And we have carbon monoxide detection sensors. Are they working? Because when there are fumes like that, then people are caught in. It's not just the fire that can burn them to death, if you like. We have this CO, which is the carbon monoxide, that they can inhale and have problems. So we should make sure that the sensors are working well, so at the end of the day, we don't have casualties beyond what and the ventilation in the place, is it correct?
Correct. The
air curtains and so on and so forth. These are technical things that we cannot sit on air and claim to know. It is only the experts who can explain.
And they've now asked for some 3 days to continue to gather intel. So managers of the Kejetia Market say that all necessary action will be taken to restrain traders from opening shops because of the ongoing investigation. Now, some traders are saying that they will forcibly open their shops after 72 hours if the market is not reopened to them, these 807 shops.
Yes, if they force to go in there. We are hearing this morning that due to technical problems on the server, the CCTV system is not in operation. And consequently, monitoring and security at the market are not being monitored. Security is not monitored. So if you have your goods there, you go and force the place open. How do you secure the place after you've broken down the system. And CCTV is not in operation. So, for instance, if you break and you're not able to secure the place and thieves come in, who are you going to ask? I used to go to ask the management. I understand the traders. I mean,
because of also the economy as well.
They're going for loans and
and every day the shop is shut. They are losing out.
They are losing money. But our information, if it's right, is also indicating that the fire was caused by one of them who was cooking and stuff like that.
Well, according to Ibrahim Abubakar, I think he says that is not entirely conclusive.
But that's what came up.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's something that the traders should also be listening to some of these things and taking care of, the place, because why would even anybody want to cook with gas or charcoal or anything in the shop? I thought that was a modern shop. A modern market where we have.
They describe it as ultra modern.
Ultra modern. So you go there, and individuals shouldn't have the permission or the space to cook. They should have restaurants where people can go and buy food. The restaurant area is well secured, fire hydrants, everything is working. But this is where you come to the market. Somebody is now coming to cook Kobe and abumu there. And because, look, you can't be doing that. Ghanaians must learn that it's not everything that you carry into all places. Sometimes you go and see, when the trains were working, see how we're keeping the trains. People will come. There should be some designated areas for food vendors to be there, cook their food in a secure environment so that we can keep state property. Because just a little fire and we have about 30 shops.
About 33 raised down.
And we have about 800 more left.
Yes.
And they are saying that, look, the area is not safe for now. And it is not for politicians to declare the safety of the place. Even the vice president I don't think he was properly briefed. He had gone to do something in the area and he just passed there. Then instantly he's saying things and they are giving him all the wrong applause. So at the end of the day, the report is long. Every part of the report has something to do with the fact that they really, really need to check to make sure that everything is working. Automatic voltage regulator. Yeah, the report is there. Solar energy system, and these are things that the traders were complaining about even before the fire.
Right.
I even understand that the electricity supply to the area and the metering was a problem. They were asking for individual meters so that they could reduce the load on the meters that were in the system. That was not, adhered to, and now we have this issue. So quite frankly, I don't think the vice president's call was timely. I don't think it was necessary.
Do you think it has done more harm than good with
obviously,
all of this conflicting
unless
intel?
The reports we are getting from, I'm not there. I'm just reacting to the reports that we are all, we're receiving. So if these things happen, politicians should be, this, because they are, governing us, of course, we know. But it doesn't mean that they jump into every situation when it is not their area. That's what we have to
do. And to the extent that they could be compromising lives at this point, I think we must weigh in on that. But we're still working to speak with some market leaders to get their thoughts on the current developments. Some say that they will be attempting to forcibly open the shops. We'll connect and find out why they're saying this. On 3FM, Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're looking at the issues concerning some of the shops that have been closed in the Kejetia Market. We connected just now with Ashanti regional correspondent Ibrahim Abubakar, and he gave us a rundown, if you will, of the happenings since the fire raised down some 33 shops in the market. This happened on March 15. We're connecting now with a leader of the Kejetia, one of the leaders of the Kejetia traders, Mr. Ruben Ame, and he will give us also the opinion on that side. Mr. Ame, good morning to you.
Good morning, my sister.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. You're in high strength, except for that some of the traders are still very down. But 2 weeks now, they have not traded.
Okay. So how long have the shops been closed down now for?
The shops have been closed down from the day the fire happened.
Right. That's March 15. Do you? So was your shop one of the 807 that was closed? That is now closed down for further investigation.
My shop was not part of the 807.
Okay. Now we're told that managers of the market say that all necessary action will be taken to ensure that the shops remain closed as investigations continue. What do you make of that?
You see, when they put out things like that, ask ourselves, are we players as partners in all this? Because what I know is that put up this structure now, for instance, without traders, the cycle of a full market structure is not complete. Without the traders also being part of the whole cycle. So therefore, whatever that are doing, I ask, have they been discussed? Have they been communicated to the traders? And even as and when they are being communicated to traders to pledges, the timeline is given. They follow the, because over a week ago, that was last week, when the place was being cordoned off, the 807 shops were being cordoned off.
Right.
What management told traders was that, and I was present in that meeting, was that it's a fluid situation. They want to check on the stop, go to the stop and check the fire incident that happened has not affected up those particular shops. As and when you finish checking your daily basis, you keep on moving the metal plates that's used for the ordinance until they localize, or let's say use the number that you know, oh, these shops are completely damaged, can't do this number, then yeah. Traders have accepted this good thing, only for them to wait in abeyance and then realize that all throughout the week, not a single work had happened on the 807 shops that we are talking about. Nobody has gone to that place to anything.
Mr. Ahmed, you say that no work has been done. They didn't go there as the plan was that they were going to assess each shop and move along. You say that no work was done.
Please come in.
Are you saying that in that week, that first week where they said that managers said that they were going to assess the situation and check on each shop, you say that wasn't done?
No work ever was done. No work at all was done at all. That was when the patience of the traders started running out, the anger levels started going up, and frustration started going. So if traders have reacted in any way, it's because what authorities told them, what the managers told them, they have not followed. So if they turn around today and say, oh, they are doing that for your own sake, my sister, there is a report available now everywhere.
That's right, and we have that report.
Managers of this party were warned in a report dated 17 March 2022 about the things that were not going on well in market that is to address the state of this fire is after.
Right.
Managers did nothing about it. Everything in that report is connected with fire, played out exactly as it played out on the 5th of March 2023, 2 days short of 1 year. So if managers are so much concerned with the integrity of the structure, whenever they are told anything about the structure, they follow. It is not when the fire had happened that you now want everybody to see, oh, they are working on top of it. We're never on top of it for the fire.
Mr. Ahmed, quick one. Please clarify for us. The report you speak of, you say it's dated 17th March 2020.
Yes, 17th March
2022. So this is last year's report that details the deficiencies. And my colleague William was talking about fire hydrants and so on and so forth.
We're not working the sprinklers. We're not working the fire detectors.
Right.
We're not good. There is nothing about it. So on the day of the fire, no alarm went off. No set up any alarm for everyone. There's food here. Sprinklers took 30 minutes to come on. The pressure pump took almost 15 minutes before they came on.
Now, following the fire, we know that the vice president paid a visit to the market and asked that it be reopened. What do you make of that? Because what we are gathering is that the feeling across the board and with the managers, if you will, was possibly that the vice president...
Your voice is too far.
All right, I'll try and speak up. Is this better?
It's better now.
Okay. I'm asking about the reaction of the traders to the vice president asking that the market be reopened. Some have said he jumped the gun. He was premature in stating that the market should be reopened. What do you make of that, and what are the thoughts of the traders?
Very terrible line.
Oh dear. Apologies, Mr. Ame. We'll try and reposition. Are you able to reposition to hear us better?
Okay.
Okay, I'm asking about your reactions to the vice president asking that the market be reopened. Do you agree that this was a premature step or a premature declaration?
No, we do not agree with that assertion.
Why not?
We do not agree with that assertion that where the fire incident happened was, we will say, in simple terms, they are next to the main structure. They are next to the main structure. It's a connecting area where after they finish the second phase of the Kejetia Center for Redevelopment, to be connected to the other market.
Right.
So when the fire happened, they have closed the whole market and telling us that for electrical issues and stuff. Meanwhile, on the very day when the fire was burning, every lighting system on the main structure were on. Every system on the main structure were on. So when they came back saying, oh, they want to take another 1 week to open the full structure, the main structure, we said we disagree with you because if you want to work on the extension area, you accept you do not have a problem. That's why we disagree with authorities that no, why do you want to shut down the whole structure when the issues have happened on their neck? So the vice president came and said, oh, the market is open, the main structure is open. We agreed with him perfectly on that. And in our press release, even before the vice president came, the market is open. We said is that even if we give them 1 year, we will not see them to be active. And frankly speaking, managers are now indicating us because when the market was open and their neck was cordoned off, and they promised that, oh, it's a free station, we'll keep on moving the metal plate. 1 week, it's over 1 week now. No work has ever happened. From last week Tuesday up to this morning, no work, the particular work they are talking about has not happened up to this morning. It hasn't happened. So we indicate that even if it is 1 year, that start out the whole market, let them work. Give them space, give them time to work. They will not do anything.
You say even if you give them an entire year, that will not even suffice.
Because for the past years, what have been their response? My sister, we've been in this market where there were incidents of 5, 7 good times where traders' goods were destroyed. We didn't see these managers talking. We didn't see these managers even come to commemorated to traders. As I speak to my sister, after this morning, ever since the fire occurred, managers have not even come to meet the affected traders to be commemorated to them. They have not done that.
Mr. Ame, you say the managers of the market have not gone and spoken with the...
Have not met
with them.
Affected traders to be commemorated to them. They have not.
Now, what happens then after 72 hours if the investigations are not completed and you are barred or the traders are barred from opening up the shops? What is the position of the traders? What can you tell us?
For us, what we know is that we've spoken to the fire service. So what are the investigations we want to take from the scene? What we are waiting for is the fire report. What exactly caused the fire and going for what is done for that too. But the other check that managers want to be carried out on that part of the facility, all we are saying is that get on with it. Let us know. Maybe managers come forward, come to leaders. Let's sit on the same table. Let's draw a roadmap as to when that will be finished and how long that will take. Then we look for alternative ways for those affected traders, the 807 affected traders, to also trade because that is their livelihood. It's bread and butter issue. For the past 15, 16 days now, they have not traded. And have you even asked how they are surviving, how their families are surviving? We don't answer. We only know the structure. So, okay, in 3 months, 6 months' time, we finish everything on the structure. These 807 traders cannot even get capital to even get. What are we achieving? Nothing.
Now, taking it a few steps back, Mr. Ame, before we round up on this conversation, you talk about speaking with the fire service. Have they ascertained the cause of the fire? From initial reports or initial conversations, there were some allegations that the fire was caused by a trader cooking in her shop. What do we know about that so far?
That still remains as an allegation.
Right.
That still remains as an allegation. We are waiting for the final report of the fire service. We are very much convinced that when the final report comes, that allegation, we are very much convinced within ourselves that allegation will not be substantiated. Because we've spoken to the shop that the fire started from. I went to see the fire in that particular shop. We spoke to the shop owner, we spoke to people around, and we are convinced that when the final report comes, that allegation will be rejected as being told. So the person cooking that caused the fire.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Reuben Ame, and for giving us an update on what's going on. Of course, we're still keeping our eye out on the happenings of the Kejetia market there. So some interesting intel there from Mr. Reuben Ame. He's one of the leaders of the Kejetia traders. I must put on record, though, that we're also trying to get in touch with the managers of the Kejetia market so we can also have them respond to a number of allegations that have been put forth by some of the traders. You've heard here from Mr. Reuben Ame. He says that some plans were put in place for the managers to check on the shops, but as it stands now, they haven't seen any action. He says no work has been done. Is this the case? We'll be monitoring the situation as it unfolds. But time check, some 21 minutes past the hour. We're going to go on a very quick break. When we come back, there is still more right here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.